Hi guys, today I want to talk to you about building a house in Thailand. Now it's a lot of people's dream to move to Thailand, it's certainly mine. I'm lucky that I realised my dream. You can see my house, I should leave a picture at the end of this video. But what I want to talk to you about is if you go ahead and say you're going to build a house and you employ a builder or builders to build your house, what you should look out for and what you should think about. First of all guys, you need to get your drawings done by a reputable architect. Now a reputable architect out here will cost you around between 25 and 30,000 baht to get some plans drawn up. They must then be passed and approved at the government centre, and then only before then you can start your build on your property. Getting to doing the property as well is once you've done this, registered your land with and split it up with the land office. If you bought a rye and you want to sell half a rye, you've got to get that split before you start the build. Now, building a house, guys. I've seen some fucking horror things here, what going around in my time. I've seen them put floors in without steel. I've seen them put floors in with a little chicken wire type steel where they just lay it on the floor and pour the concrete straight over the top of it, which does nothing at all. You know, they should be using proper rebar steel, just like matting, and they should have it elevated off the ground so that the steel is basically in the middle of the concrete. Here they just piss, same with pathways, footways, walkways, garages. They just throw this chicken wire mesh on the floor and they throw fucking concrete on top of it. This won't last long, it'll crack, it won't last for the years you want it to. And you'll end up getting it repaired and or replaced, which can be quite costly, having to dig it all up again, start again. Now, the other thing you need to watch for is building materials. Building materials out here are very cheap, so be careful when you're pricing and getting your price for your house, that you get an estimated cost breakdown of your products and what they're going to use, and then go and call some of them off yourself and find out if you're being ripped off or not. The one thing I will say, guys, there is 3-inch and there's 6-inch block here. External block should always be 6-inch. Internal can be the 3-inch standard block, or they use for walls and so on. But it depends on your build. I'd use the 6-inch or larger thermal block for the whole build, inside and external walls. One for the stability, and two because of the insulation purposes, because it is boiling hot out here and you want to save as much cool energy as you want back from your air cons and your fans, and keep it in the house and not going out through the walls. The roofs out here are made of steel. What you want to do is make sure that steel is treated before they build the roof with like a red lead type paint. It's not lead, but it's a red lead style, it's the same colour type. Make sure you check that, and make sure you check the ends, cap ends, make sure that everything's coated and everything's done properly. Your roofing material will depend on you. So if you're using sheeting style roofs, I would get the one with the insulation built in. Saves a lot of work, saves a lot of trouble later on. Always insulate your loft, guys, with the thickest insulation, with this tinfoil style backing underneath as well. And if you're not going to be using your loft for anything in the house, you do that and seal it up properly, and you'll have a great, easier, benefit. The other thing is put some ventilation in your roof, on the eaves and in the roof. You can put one of these spinners, which is a great idea, which drags the heat out as well, keeping your house cool. The other thing is painting. You'll find they'll do like a very pissy undercoat paint here, or primer, and then they'll put one coat of paint on. You need to specify you need 2 coats of paint, because you can almost see through it. When like I've got here, this is probably 1 coat. I can almost see through the paint as well. The other thing, guys, is make sure you get fans in every room. Fans in every room save you a fortune, especially in aircon, and also in electricity. They're a lot cheaper than using an aircon. What's the other thing? A pool. Do you consider having a swimming pool or not? If you're going to have a swimming pool, guys, get the longest pool you can afford. Now, my point being is swimming is exercise. So if you've got a swimming pool which is 10, 12, 14 metres long by 3 metres or 2.5, you'll be able to use that as your exercise every day. And let's face it, we're not getting any younger, and swimming is great on the joints as well. You'll also save a gym membership, which can be quite costly out here. We pay 16,500 baht each per year for the gym, which I'm not going to do after this year, because my next house I build will have a longer pool. As I say, there's a lot of things to do. So the quick checkpoint here, guys, is always check that the land is yours and is the AMP once you've bought it. Always make sure that you have permission to build. Always make sure you have the right correct drawings signed off by the government. Always make sure you check your builders' past work. and credibility and you know, references. And if you can, guys, which I strongly recommend, be on site every day with the builder while they're building and check the work, because they will cut corners. They'll do everything they can to save money. Building a house in Thailand is quite fun and quite enjoyable, to be honest with you. Some of the methods might seem a bit unorthodox, but they get the job done and they do a good job if you keep your eye on them. So hopefully you'll have the same fun we've had, and I'll show you a picture of our house now. And there you go, building a house in Thailand.